Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 93. I can't believe I just said December, but here we are. Yeah, we are definitely in the midst of the holidays, and that said, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, a happy Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving was very eventful. Not to get too much into detail, but yeah, I spent the day. Me and Dennis, we drove up to my aunt's house in Mayapack, and which was not without a little bit of a little hitch here and there. But I see my uncle was supposed to meet up with us at our place, and we were supposed to give him a ride to my aunt's house. We were, carpooling, and turned out that my uncle's car broke down, so me and Dennis had to drive all the way across Brooklyn to pick him up, which was a half an hour to his place and then a half an hour back to our place because we had to go back the way we came. So it took us double the time to get to her place. But nevertheless, we had a wonderful time. I got to spend it with my grandmother, who's doing, she's hanging in there. She's doing well, in case you're curious. But yeah, so we had a wonderful evening there. And then the next day, we had a wedding to go to. Well, first I had to go to work in the morning, but I got a half day because we had this wedding to go to, which was so fun. I believe it was a Pakistani wedding with Indian food. There were dancers, belly dancers, and it was a great time. So I can't complain. But we didn't end up leaving the wedding until about like 12:30, 1 o'clock, which normally would be okay because, you just sleep in the next day. But no, we had to go all the way down to Pennsylvania. Yeah, back in the car. But no, to visit our niece and nephew and Dennis's brother and, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. So we had a wonderful time, but it was a long, long drive and a long day. And we didn't get home until 12 o'clock that night, too. And as soon as we came home, I crashed. I just fell asleep and I didn't wake up until 10 o'clock in the morning. And I can't remember the last time I actually slept in that late. But I did, and I think I needed it. But anyway, not to go on about my Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everyone had a happy one. But yeah, on to knitting. I did record a couple days back, but I wasn't happy with the episode, and I've just been I've been too tired and too scatterbrained. So I have quiet time now, so I'm recording now, and everything's great. So let's get on to what I have to discuss this episode. Let me see. I don't think there was any housekeeping notes. I'm using my new iPad, by the way, which I love. I'm so psyched about it. I've been using it for all things knitting. You might notice I've been tweeting a little bit more. It makes things so much easier on the go. But before I get on with stuff, I just want to mention that there is going to be a giveaway. Last week I reviewed Cascadia, which is a cooperative press digital pattern book, and just gorgeous patterns, and I will be giving a giveaway. So I will be starting a thread in the YarnGasm Revel. Wow, my throat's so groggy. I'm sorry, guys. So if you recall, last episode I reviewed Cascadia, which is a cooperative press digital pattern book, which has gorgeous patterns in it. I'm actually knitting something right now from it, which I'll show you in a bit. But I will be doing a giveaway. So if you are interested, hop on over to the YarnGasm Ravelry thread, where I will start a thread and just leave a comment. Let me know your favorite holiday dish. That's all you have to do. Just leave a note, and the next time I record, I will use a random number generator and determine a winner. And you will receive a free copy of Cascadia through Cooperative Press. So, yay! Excellent. Next up, VK Knitting Live, New York. I will be going. Yes! I will be going Saturday, which I believe is January 18th. I will not be taking any classes just because nothing stood out to me, and personally, as a knitter, I like teaching myself things, although there are certain things that I know I could benefit from an instructor, but right now nothing stood out to me. But I definitely do want to take a class at some point, just not now, but I'm just going for the friends, the fun, and the fiber, so that's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, if you're going, So if you see me, just say hello. Love hearing from you guys and meeting you. And just like at Rhyme Fact, it was great meeting people that watch the show, and it's just so much fun. So yeah, VK Knitting Live, excellent. What else? What else? Oh, and also I started another thread in the Ravelry group called Because You Asked. Kind of like what do you want to hear about? Like the what do you want to hear about thread from Knit More Girls, but I figured I'd start my own, because I like dishing and whatnot. So yeah, feel free to ask me questions there. Yeah, so I think that concludes. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as housekeeping show notes go. But let's move on to what's on my needles. As I mentioned, I'm knitting something from Cascadia, which is again a very lovely, lovely pattern book. I am knitting the Raven's Nest shawl by Judy Marples, which, as you can see, I've made much progress on it. I've been very monogamous on this. I don't know why. I think it's because I can't decide. Like, I'm itching to knit something else, but I don't know what. So I figure in the meantime, I'll just knit on this until I find something that I really want to cast on. And I'm rambling, guys. I apologize. And but while there are like so many projects that I want to cast on at the moment, I just don't know where to start. Which comes with startitis, I guess. But nevertheless, I've made progress. This is, again, the Raven's Nest shawl by Judy Marples, and I am, in fact, okay. I am, in fact, done with all the lace repeats, and I just have to knit 5 more, about 5 more rows of the pattern lace repeat, and then I can start the bind off. So I'm super excited to finish this. And the yarn is, I'm clicking around, guys. The yarn is Julie Spins in her Fjord. It's a merino cashmere nylon blend in the Fjord colorway. And I'll post a link to her Etsy shop in the show notes because she has such gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. So it's coming along very, very lovely. So I love these seed stitch diamonds in the middle, and it's just so pretty. And I think it really makes, I don't know, I think it just goes so well. Like the pattern and the lace go so well together. Like nothing's really getting lost, and the pattern actually like brings out the colors in this because it's such like a gem like shade color. I don't know, I'm in love. I love it. So this is how much yarn I have left. And when I first cast it on, I was a little concerned, like maybe I should make it bigger or smaller because I'm going to have a lot of yarn left over. But because the pattern says that that the shawl calls for about maybe 430 yards. I could be wrong. Let me see. But yeah, and I believe there's like approximately 400. Anyway, I don't have the pattern right in front of me, but I stuck to what the pattern called for, and I believe I'm right on track because with every row that I'm knitting, this just keeps shrinking and shrinking. So I'm listening to Judy. So that said, that's what I'm working on this week, guys. What else am I working on? Oh, no. First of all, no stash enhancements this week, guys. But I do have something that I want to show you that's holding a project that I'm working on. I spotted a project bag on Jessaloo's website, and I fell head over heels for it. Lighthouses. I don't know if you know Jessaloo, but she creates these gorgeous handmade project bags, the box one. You've probably seen these on plenty of other video podcasts, but they're gorgeous. I don't know. They're so fun. And I saw the lighthouses. I mean, how appropriate is that? Because I don't know if you know, but like whenever me and Dennis go away on vacation and we spot a lighthouse, we make it our business to get a photo in front of said lighthouse. I mean, doesn't matter what, it's our tradition, we do it. So I saw the lighthouses and I'm just like, gotta do it. So I crashed and I purchased it. So, but the best part is, not that this isn't the best part, but you unzip it and lobsters. How fun is that? Again, like I saw the lobsters and I was just like, it's mine. It's mine. Add to cart, purchase, checkout, yada yada. And here it is. And it came the day before Thanksgiving, so I was extra excited. And I brought it with me and I showed everybody. I showed my mother-in-law who loved it. Yeah, so I geeked out. And again, it's Jessa Lou. Let's see the tag. So, and I didn't realize, but she's actually from Massachusetts, which is, again, appropriate because me and Dennis vacation in Cape Cod all the time. So let me show you what I am. I'll post a link to her shop online in the show notes, like I do. So this is my hand dyed, my experimental acid dye that I was hacking around with, and I'm just knitting a plain vanilla sock with it. I'm really digging the way it's knitting up. It's just so pretty, so pink and red, and it has like these little shocks of brown and chestnut in there. So I made a lot of headway on it on the car ride over to my aunt's place on Thanksgiving, and then yeah, so it's a sock, and I haven't had time to actually dye any more yarn, but I'm off tomorrow. Yes, I so needed an extra day because if you knew how wiped if you know how wiped I am, I am very tired. I could actually use some more sleep, which I will be heading to bed early tonight, but I'm glad I took an extra day because I knew, like, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I am an introvert. And if you know introverts, we are known to like conversate, like social, like while we enjoy being social, some of us, me personally, I love being social, but it does take a lot out of me. So 3 days of full-on family gatherings and stuff like that, well, I had a great time and I enjoyed being around them. I come home and I'm just so winded. And I'm just like, I need a day. I need a day to recharge, to relax. So that's how I roll. Yeah, I'm very glad that I have tomorrow just to recuperate. So, and I will get lots of knitting done. And Cyber Monday is happening tomorrow. I am very psyched about that. By the time I probably publish this, Cyber Monday will be long gone, and I will have something new to talk about. But anyway, that's it. I hope everyone finds some awesome deal tomorrow. But anyway, on to what I'm spinning. So all this typically falls under what I'm knitting. It is spinning related because it is hand spun. If you recall, I spun up this lovely gourmet stash puny. People call them poonies. I call them punies for some reason. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but whatever floats your boat. I call them punies. Go figure. But anyway, these were about. I've already knit some of it, but. And I'm blanking on the name that Kate named them, but it's green, and I love green, and I spun it up, and I'm very happy with it. I consider this my first successful hand spun. So instead of letting it languish in my stash, I decided to knit it up, and here's where I am with it. This is just my potato chip knitting, when I'm watching TV right now, aside from said sock. But the idea with this is just to knit it up and frame it. So I'm psyched about it. I love the way the colors are gradiating together, and it almost reminds me of a Rothko painting. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Rothko, but that's what it reminds me of. And because it's my hand spun, I'm digging it. So, wow. And this is the second time that I've said I dig it on the episode. I am just backtracking to the 90s. I don't know what it is, but I'm just going with it. So, but yeah, this is my hand spun. But yeah, I'm just going to frame it, hang it, because clearly my walls could use more art. And if I can make it happen, why not? So that's what's happening. Also, while I do have other stuff on Tallulah, I had other stuff on Tallulah, my loop bat that I purchased at Rhinebeck was calling out to me. If you recall, I showed you this lovely bit of roving that I purchased at Rhinebeck on a whim. I saw it, I loved it, so I treated myself. And here it is, loop And this is their Spontaneous Spinning Clouds in Dream Come True. I got 4 ounces, and it consists of Merino, Tessa Silk, and Angelina. So, yeah, how beautiful is that? I cannot resist. It's been calling out to me ever since I brought it home. So, while I do have stuff that I need to finish spinning, I spun me some loop. So, if I can grab Tallulah without breaking anything, that's where I am. And she's spinning up very lovely. A little thicker than I usually do, but I like it. I don't know, it's going quick, and I just love the way it's... there's no method to my madness. I'm just spinning, grabbing whichever shade that... Ah! Sorry. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm just grabbing whatever bit of fluff comes out at me and going with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to Navajo ply it. I may just attempt a double, a 2-ply, filling up one bobbin and setting it aside and going with another bobbin and filling that one up and then just 2-plying it. And the reason I felt so enabled to just dive into it without a care in the world is I was watching the Knit Girls and Lala, I can't remember her first name. Not Leslie, because you don't call her Les. And I'm horrible with names and I apologize, but Lala said that she has all these bobbins full of, yarn that she started to spin, and now she's kind of going through her phase of just clearing her bobbins. So I figure, if she can do that, I can do that. I just won't go crazy, but, I'll just, fill up another bobbin and call it a day and get to a point where I'm just like, I'm going to empty my bobbins too. So that's my method right now, my logic, what have you. But so yeah, that is what I'm spinning currently, and on to the next segment. I have 2 recipes to talk about. One being Indian buttered curry chicken. Am I even saying that right? Indian butter chicken. And I found this recipe on Pinterest, and it's another crock pot recipe, which I love crock pot recipes. I love my crock pot. I will cook on it and cook in it any day. So I just love the fact that you can just chuck stuff in there and forget about it. And this is a super easy recipe, and while it does call for butter, I usually don't cook with butter. I try to be very healthy sometimes, but butter is definitely not a choice ingredient that I use all the time. But for this one, while the recipe called for 3 tablespoons of butter, I only used... Oh, no, I believe it called for 3 or 4. I used 2. I cut it in half. So 2 tablespoons of butter, and it is out of this world. I've made it twice already. And again, if you love spicy, Indian food, this is definitely a great dish, and the butter definitely lends to that. It's just a great curry chicken dish, and it's super easy to make. Like, if you come home at 7 o'clock, it'll be ready in 3 hours. If you are used to eating that late, I don't know. I've gotten into the habit of doing that because that's when Dennis comes home, and on a normal weeknight, I don't mind waiting. So it's a perfect recipe. On a weekend, though, you can totally go slow cook, put it in at 12 and eat at whenever, 7, 8. But I'll post a link to that in the show notes, along with the next recipe that I'm going to talk about, which are Brussels sprouts and shiitake mushrooms. I don't cook with butter, and I don't normally deep fry stuff, but I was in charge of Brussels sprouts this Thanksgiving, so I went all out. And it's super easy to make. I mean, the recipe itself has like 3 different steps that you have to do at the same time. I was a little intimidated, but I bit the bullet, and I was like, you know what? I don't really put that much effort into my cooking usually, so it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to make it a little bit special. So it calls for shallots, which I never cook with. I can't remember the last time I cooked with shallots, but they're not that bad. I had to deep fry those until they were crispy, and then I love shiitake mushrooms. I am having a love affair with shiitake mushrooms. I'm actually going to cook with them tonight. And then the Brussels sprouts, which I had to roast in the oven for about 30 minutes. So, and it actually, the recipe also calls for wine. So I had to cook the shiitake mushrooms in butter and wine for a while until they were like golden brown. And then I had to deep fry the shallots until they were crispy, like I said. And then, yeah, again, the Brussels sprouts, I just had an oven roast with olive oil and pepper and salt. And they went over so well at Thanksgiving. So I will definitely, I don't know if I'm going to be making it that often because it is a lot of butter. I believe it was like 3/4 a stick of butter that I had to cook the mushrooms in. So I don't know, but the dish is very, very good. So that's it. I will post a link to those, and I highly recommend you give them a try. And also, like for the Indian curry, if you're not a fan of spicy, you can just totally leave out the chili powder or the cayenne pepper, which it calls for. We use chili powder because I stock up on this stuff, and we love it. So it's extra spicy. But that said, on to the next segment. And that's the show. I hope everyone, again, had a wonderful Thanksgiving and are hunkering down with your holiday knitting. I'm not doing any holiday knitting this year, guys. I can't. I don't have the mental capacity. I have to start earlier, which I never do because I never know what to knit anybody aside from like maybe socks or a hat. And maybe I'll just do that next year, where I'll just say everyone's getting socks and a hat next year. So yeah, that said, what else did I want to say? Oh, a lot of you have been asking about my makeup and stuff like that, whether it's on Twitter or in person or whatever. I'm thinking of starting maybe like a tiny segment at the end of each show, like not every show maybe, but like once in a blue moon, kind of like Nailed It from Kim's Craft Stash, where I just talk makeup because I'm always happy to dish about that. I could talk about makeup any given day, whatever. It's my side hobby. Knitting is my lifestyle, but makeup's my hobby, I guess. So I'm not a professional by any means, but I'm always happy to dish. So let me know if I will start another thread in the Raveler group. If you're interested in having that, let me know. Yeah, so that's a side note. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah, that is it. I hope everyone has a great week ahead of you. Happy knitting, and I will see you next time. Bye.